Listen to me carefully. Even if you know the story is true, but it will do damage, my advice to the country.
So MATIA Kasaijja came out to say that even if the story is very true, it must not be published if it's going to do damage. And the journalist asked to which person and said to the country. Let me tell you one thing. It is true that whenever there is a story that can break national cohesion, it cannot be published in all countries. Okay? Or if the story can create panic within the masses, the government can decide to withhold such information. That's the way our governments are run. However, there must be a distinction between a story that is going to make a country panic, okay, to a story that can expose a dictatorship. There are two different things. The difference here is that government in Uganda wants to even block stories that can build democracy, that can expose corrupt leaders, that can expose bad leadership. Those stories must come out. In fact, if you had a proper democracy, in fact, when you go to an election, there must be a winner and a loser in those big democracies. And immediately the election ends, the whole country supports the leader because they know they have been defeated decisively. So if such stories arise which can put an effect on a national cohesion, they may withhold the information because the country is firmly behind the leader, even if they didn't vote for him. Here in Uganda, even the elections are not free and fair. Opposition in the last cycle of an election, 2021 election, opposition leaders were beaten like snakes. Some were imprisoned. Even up to now, there are still prisoners who were caught towards the 2021 general election in Kalangala. How can you tell me that a story which can expose your government, at least so that it can fall, which has been abusing my rights, that I cannot put it out? How can you tell me that if I'm a journalist, and each and every week, at least there is a story where security personnel beat journalists, beating them, and you expect me not to release it? How? Recently in the Kawempe by-election, journalists were beaten. Even when they were bringing Eddie Mutu in court, journalists were blocked almost they were going to be beaten. And you tell me that if they get a story that puts national cohesion at risk, they won't publish it. Okay? A country, for me I keep on saying people, a state is like a human being or a parent. If a state does something good to you, you have an obligation of protecting it, even against news that can put national cohesion at risk. But if it does bad to you, I have a duty of fighting it, including releasing information that can put it down. Okay? Although the narrative of MATIA Kasaijja is true, in our country it does not hold water because we are under family rule. Everyone has an obligation of putting out information that can crush this family rule. Let me also play you this tape once again as MATIA Kasaijja was saying this. Here's the tape.
Listen to me carefully. Even if you know the story is true, but it will do damage, my advice to the country.
So that is MATIA Kasaijja. So that logic does not arise in our case. Uganda, we have a duty to put out each and every information there that can put down the dictatorship. If you're in a good democracy, maybe that narrative can arise. Okay? It can arise. So it's incumbent upon the government to keep its own information, okay, which can affect its downfall, but it's not incumbent upon the masses of our country. The state has its boots on our neck, we can't breathe. Everyone who comes out to speak is incarcerated. How can you tell me that in the 21st century, a person like Eddie Mutwe is taken to an incarceration? The CDF comes out to say that I have Eddie Mutwe, what are you going to do? The CDF comes out to say that I shaved him. The CDF comes out to say that he's going to castrate him. And indeed, when Eddie Mutwe was released, he was bruised. His arms had, wounds. He was beaten. He couldn't even walk. And you know what pains me more is the silence of those who have the voice. NRM MPs. What is the reason of you not speaking out? Okay, I've followed very many governments. When governments fall, by the way, many of the first people who get affected are those in government, because they'll be looking out for them. Your silence pains. Speaker of Parliament, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, commissioners, although you are NRM, but this is the Uganda we have. I keep on telling people that how I wish that even if I was in government, I would want, to act or to pass in the same thing, to do something to my opponent that I wish he could do to me when he's in the same seat of power. So MATIA KASAIJA, such information we shall always put it out, because we have a duty of breaking the chains of the dictatorship, of breaking human rights abuses. You are senior leader, your voices are not heard. The Prime Minister Robin Anabanyo, whenever issues of human rights arise, there's a way he talks about them, thirst stamping. He once came out to say that he has Chibalama. Remember, Chibalama was taken. Even up to now, his family don't know where he is right now. Maybe he's incarcerated. Maybe he was killed. Maybe he was fed to the crocodiles. Maybe he was thrown in Lake Victoria. And the business remains as usual. This is our country. We have a duty of releasing each and every information that can break this government. If you're in the proper democracy, you could have a duty of protecting our country. People in government speak as if we are in a democracy. We're not in a democracy. How can you having an election process where an opposition leader is incarcerated and we keep it as business as usual? Shame upon the NRM government. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I will see you on another one. Peace.
Kusaba kibuze mpala na bulungi. Abampala no bulungi. Nange benjagala obulungi.